This presentation will provide you with information on using the module structure in the Canvas Learning Management System. You will be provided with information on why you should use a module structure for your course, what to include, and how to organize it. When uploading content, ensure your lessons contain the following 6 basic design components. 1. A module introduction or overview statement about the module content. 2. Stated course competencies addressed by the module. 3. Stated measurable learning objectives written from the student's perspective. 4. Relevant and engaging content that covers the objectives. 5. Practice activities and exercises directly related to the content that provide appropriate interaction. And 6. A measure of assessment that directly measures a student's acquisition of the learning objectives. So why modules? Course materials should be loaded in the modules area of the course. Students should have access to everything they need to be successful for a module of instruction, week, unit, section, or lesson in that module. You shouldn't upload multiple weeks of content into a single module area without initial planning and storyboarding. A lengthy module would likely be overwhelming to students, so you should always strive to provide smaller chunks of information. Creating an online course takes time. Planning will really help you. It is equally important for online classes to follow a consistent design. We don't want students to get caught up in wasting their time trying to figure out the course mechanics. They should be easily able to find all the materials and instructions for completing activities, including how or when to submit assignments. Modules help keep course content organized, not only for you, but for your students. Managing course content is not unlike managing everything you store in your office. If left unorganized, course content can clutter a student's learning space. Modules allow you to define content delivery. In your course outline, you will detail what will happen in your class. Some faculty group the information by weeks, while others group content by topic. Modules can be used to deliver your course materials in the same way. For example, you may set up a module for week 1 or for each topic containing related information, such as an introduction, a reading, a web resource or video, a reading assignment, a writing assignment, a quiz, or a survey. Modules can help students navigate the course content. The Modules area in Canvas is the only tool that provides a Next and Previous button for easy navigation. These buttons can be helpful for students to view content for the first time. Modules provide an area where instructor can deliver content sequentially using an instructional scaffolding approach to help students understand core concepts prior to attempting to complete the assignment or quiz. Now let's discuss the components that should be included in each module. Module introduction or overview statement. What are the students learning and doing? What is the big picture overview of the module? How does it relate to what they have learned previously? What competencies are addressed by the module content and activities? What will the student be able to do at the end of the module? Use measurable and student-centered learning objectives. Required readings. If using a textbook or linking to articles, what do students need to read? Provide a clear explanation of pages to read and/or questions to answer. Emphasize the important elements. This is best achieved by using a Canvas page for descriptions and/or instructions, as shown on this slide. Course materials. Provide the materials the students need to master objectives. Content should be presented in multiple formats. Examples include notes, presentations, audio or video files, web links, articles, etc. Please provide clear instructions to students on how to access and use the materials and how they relate to the module learning objectives. This is best achieved by using a Canvas page for descriptions and/or instructions. E-learning and practice activities. How will students interact with the content? How are students going to practice what you want them to learn to prepare for the assessments? Will the students benefit from interacting with their peers? Be sure to provide timely feedback to confirm or correct learning as they are progressing through the module. Let's talk about assessments, specifically formative. How are students going to demonstrate their comprehension, learning needs, and academic progress during a lesson, unit, or course? Basically, how do they practice skills in preparation for the summative assessments? Now let's talk about summative assessment. How are students going to demonstrate their mastery of the objectives? How will they know they've mastered the module learning objectives? Refer to the assessment module in OTE for more information on alternative and authentic assessment. Summary. Consider providing a summary at the end of the module, or sometimes recapping the previous module at the beginning of the next one. What did the students learn in the module? How does it relate to what comes next? This can also be achieved through a course announcement and to introduce the new week and or summarize the previous week in the unit. There are a variety of ways to organize content in a course. You can use units, module numbers, weeks, chapters, or even combine these elements. Once you've selected a course design and module structure, explain that organization fully to the students. Maybe consider creating a course tour. So if you decide to do it by week, examples of weekly would be week 1, or you can say week 1, chapter 1, or week 1 and sort of a topic name. Those are your options, but whatever you choose, be consistent. Another way to do this is chapters. So if you just want to go by chapters, chapter 1, chapter 2, or you can do chapter 1, and the name of it, say Introduction to Anatomy. This way might work if you have multiple chapters in one module. You could say chapter 1 and 2, or chapters 1 and 2. You can also put the week. If you're in 1 week and have 2 chapters, you could combine the first and second options, which is week 1, chapters 1 and 2. If you decide to go by topic and you're just going to cut out module numbers and chapters, you can simply state like this: computer basics, word processing, database management, Excel, etc. You could also take these topics and combine them as I mentioned in the other 2 examples. Regardless of the terminology you use for your modules, each module, unit, lesson should follow a consistent design, and that same terminology should be used throughout the course and in all references to those materials. Example, language in the syllabus should match language in the schedule, assignments, and course materials. Also, once you've selected a course design and module structure, explain that fully, as I mentioned earlier, maybe through a course tour. Consistency is key.